Right now at noon, a late night landfill fire sends smoke over Galena, Kansas. What we know so far.
And temperatures remaining a bit below normal, but they are a bit warmer today than where they were yesterday. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a scary crash at Dragway. How safety gear helped two racers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, 2 people were hurt in a crash during the Hot Summer Nights racing event at Dragway in Asbury, Missouri over the weekend. Drivers Larry Hunt and Jim Burkebile were involved in an on-track mishap late Saturday night. The crash happened at speeds near 130 miles per hour. Hunt suffered an arm injury and underwent surgery yesterday morning. Officials say safety equipment helped prevent more serious injuries and the racing schedule will continue. Well, firefighters responded to a fire at the landfill on the north edge of Galena Friday night. The Baxter Springs Fire Department assisted Galena crews, and around 9:15, Carl Junction Fire was called in to bring a tanker. Smoke could be seen from town as wind shifted. No injuries have been reported. Well, in Arkansas, the man accused of murdering a mother and father who were on a hike with their 2 young daughters appeared in court Friday. This comes as investigators release more details about the grisly crime and how the children were able to survive. Diane Gallagher has the latest.
Elementary school teacher Andrew McGann appearing for the first time before a judge Friday. Police say the 28-year-old admitted to the shocking killings of Clinton and Kristen Brink, stabbed as the couple hiked with their daughters at Devil's Den State Park Saturday afternoon.
It appears to be a completely random event.
The Brinks being hailed as heroes.
They absolutely protected those girls to their fullest extent, to the point that it cost them their lives.
Kristen's last moments spent trying to save her family.
The husband was attacked first. The mother did not return all the way to the car with the kids. We believe that the mother took them to safety and then returned to help her husband.
New court documents reveal the Brinks daughters first reported the attack to another hiker who got them off trail before heading to find the Brinks bodies and then hiking back out to get cell service. Another witness noticed a man with blood on his face drive off in a black car with tape over the tag. Police believe the attack was planned, even though the victims were random. And after more than 500 tips from the public, the terrifying 4-day manhunt ended mid-haircut at Lupita's beauty salon and barbershop in Springdale Wednesday evening.
Something felt off about him. He looked pretty scary. He didn't look like he was okay.
McGann had just moved to Springdale after accepting a teaching position at a local elementary school for the upcoming school year, the district confirmed to CNN. McGann had been hired to work at least 4 school districts in 3 different states in just 3 years. In 2023, in Texas, a parent who described him as cold told CNN she reported McGann after her son described his 4th grade teacher as touchy and inappropriate with certain girls in class. An internal investigation found problems with classroom management and professional judgment, but did not find evidence of inappropriate behavior, according to the Louisville Independent School District. It said McGann resigned that May.
Now, in addition to McGann admitting that he killed the Brinks, police say his DNA matched blood evidence they collected. Let's head over now to Chris Warner for a first look at today's forecast.
Yeah, temperatures are doing better today. We started pretty chilly this morning, not at record levels, but man, it was cool for August. Earlier this morning, clear skies from our camera downtown Pittsburgh, looking pretty good. Same from the MoDOT camera this morning as well at 20th and Range Line. Yesterday started the day at 61, so not record low, but still very chilly for this time of year. Made it up to 85, so 6 degrees below normal, which is nice to say. Still looking at that below normal trend, however, as we head into the second half of this week, we're going to start climbing again and could see the potential for dangerous heat across the area. Through the rest of this evening, though, not bad at all. We still have that pop-up storm chance between now and about 4. Otherwise, we'll have clear skies, mid-80s by 7, falling back into the 70s and eventually low 70s by 11, and one more night below normal as we're looking at back into the mid-60s overnight tonight. As I mentioned, though, temperatures are going to begin to climb and we could see some dangerous heat again. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, a local church is providing produce for community members in need. KOAM's Mitch Adams visited the garden to find out more.
In Baxter Springs, Kansas, a local church is planting the seeds of generosity and harvesting hope.
And as we got to talking, we realized we had a lot of gardeners in our church, and we said, what if we do a community garden and we'll just grow things and give them away? That's really all it is. There's no profit off this, there's no money, we just grow things and hand them out. So we started doing that, and we've been doing that for many years now.
The community garden is not just a plot of land. It's a way for church members to connect and support people in need.
But we probably have anywhere from 12 to 20 people come. Usually it's probably 12 to 15, somewhere in there, people on every time we do a handout. We have a lady in our church that makes fresh bread, so we do that too. We give that out as well. We've got some regulars, so some people we'll see every week. And then every week we've got people who are brand new, who just heard about it and they show up. We usually have enough to make sure everyone leaves with a bag full of vegetables and a loaf or two of bread.
To First Christian Church, it's not just picking peppers and tomatoes, it's cultivating kindness and community. Reporting in Baxter Springs, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Now, food harvested from the garden is available every Wednesday at 6 in the evening. And coming up, investors continue weighing the effect of President Trump's tariff plan on the economy after stocks lost major ground on Friday. And later, we're making garden quinoa toss in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. The Trump administration says tariffs imposed last week are likely to stick. They're set to take effect Thursday and include 35% on many Canadian goods, 39% on Swiss products, and 50% on Brazilian goods. The trade war has increased the average U.S. tariff from 2.5% at the start of this year to over 18%, the highest since 1934, according to the Budget Lab at Yale University. Now to a showdown over congressional redistricting is escalating today after Texas state Democrats fled their state to avoid voting on maps drawn at President Trump's request. The multi-state fight comes ahead of midterm elections next year and could have national implications. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
We're not here to play political games.
Texas State House Minority Leader Gene Wu called it a matter of moral clarity. He and some 50 other state Democrats fled to Illinois in order to avoid voting on newly redrawn congressional maps in the Republican-controlled state. Democrats accuse Republicans of trying to dilute the power of Black and Hispanic voters.
Never, ever, ever underestimate the will of the American people when it comes to protecting and preserving our democracy and our voting rights.
The standoff over the new maps follows a push by President Trump to give Republicans an advantage in 5 more Texas seats.
The president is trying to avoid a repeat of what happened during his first term in 2018 when Republicans lost the House, stalling his agenda.
Democratic leaders in blue states who have called the redistricting efforts undemocratic now say they may be forced to do the same.
When the cult leader and would-be dictator of the United States tells Texas to midstream change the game, when they know that they're going to lose in 2026, all bets are off.
Back in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott is threatening state Democrats to return by this afternoon or face the possibility of being removed from office. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Say goodbye to ho-hum side dishes and hello to a fresh tasting one that goes with just about anything. Plus, it only takes minutes to throw together.
And we are tracking the potential for dangerous heat once again and some additional pop-up storm chances. The latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So again, a pretty chilly start this morning, especially by August standards, but another decent day ahead of us, but the temperatures will heat up. Let's start real quick with a look from this morning. Downtown Pittsburgh looks pretty fantastic this morning, still continuing to do so. Between now and 4, we do have that opportunity for an isolated pop-up storm or two. Now remember on Future Track with pop-up storms, in most cases, like I said, once or twice we've seen it be spot on with where pop-up storms are going to be, which is rare. But this is not a guarantee that at 2 o'clock today in Delaware County around Grove, we're going to see a shower. This is the Future Track's way of saying a pop-up shower or storm will be possible. In fact, there's a brief one, but barely see it southwest of Stockton there, or east of Golden City. That's really about it for today. We'll otherwise have clear skies as we go through the evening and overnight. We start our Tuesday pretty much the same way, but a hair warmer, still below normal tomorrow morning, but a little warmer than where we started today. Most of tomorrow is dry. There is another very isolated chance between about 7 and 9 for a stray shower in our far northern counties in southeast Kansas tomorrow. That's it. Then we go into Wednesday and things change a bit. It's still isolated showered storm chances, but they're still there, which is better than no shower storm chances in some cases. We start our Wednesday mostly clear to partly cloudy, but you can see a couple of stray showers in parts of Coffee and Greenwood counties into southeast Kansas. These try and push through, so here we are at 7. Not much to show by 7. And then as we go a little later in the morning, about 11 o'clock, we get some additional isolated showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms rolling into our northern counties by noon. So initially, really along and north of the 54 corridor. As we go a little later into the day, the Missouri showers, they kick on to the east, so rolling through Stockton eventually. And then we still have a few lingering by about 2 o'clock or so in the afternoon into southeast Kansas. These will continue to push southeast, but as you see, as they get closer to I-44, they also begin to kind of fall apart. So again, it's one of those situations we're going to see some of us getting a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Most of us will remain dry. And the good news is, again, at this time, we're not anticipating any severe weather with any of that activity. Well, we are looking at those temperatures, and those are where we're going to start to run into some problems. Tomorrow, we're going to be seasonably hot, going in the low 90s. So hotter than where we have been, but not excessively. As we go into Wednesday, we start seeing some of those mid-90s building into the area. So we start going above normal again, and by Thursday we're looking to be into the upper 90s, and some of us could get close to 100 by Thursday. And the problem that we're going to run into is our heat index values will also be warmer, but then there's a good side to this as well. Our dew point humidity levels, they'll be up a bit, but not oppressively so, like what we saw last week where we had heat index values to 110. So even tomorrow, our heat index values only a couple of degrees above the air temperature. And Wednesday, yeah, this is hot. Don't get me wrong. You still need to be, stay hydrated. You still need to take precautions. But these heat index values, as we go into Wednesday and even Thursday, are only a couple of degrees above the high. They're still hot. You still got to be safe, but they're not as dangerously hot as what we saw last week. So here's a look at that extended forecast for you. We've got the isolated storms again through Wednesday. Temperatures really climbing Thursday, Friday. Could see some triple digits on Friday. More isolated storms Saturday through Monday, and temperatures still pretty hot in the weekend. And as we roll into the next work week, those temperatures gradually begin to return to normal. Elise?
All right, that doesn't really look really fun. Chris, thanks. Well, dozens of wildfires are burning today in California. The Gifford fire north of Santa Barbara doubled in size in just 24 hours. At least 3 people have been hurt. It's one of 14 active fires in California, 7 of them that started this past weekend. Jason Allen is there with more.
Firefighters faced ferocious dark orange flames that raced up this steep hillside. Acres of dry brush, some up to 6 feet, fueled the walls of fire.
This is a very rapidly fast-moving fire. It takes a lot of personnel to take on something of this size.
Air tankers dropping fire retardant dealt with winds fanning the erratic flames. Nearly 50,000 acres are scorched across Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. About 100 miles north of San Francisco, the lake fire spread to more than 300 acres, prompting evacuation warnings. In Reno, Nevada, the fast-moving 75-acre Peavine fire forced residents to evacuate. Those orders are now lifted after crews were able to contain the fire. And in Arizona, the Dragon Bravo fire near the Grand Canyon's North Rim has now burned more than 116,000 acres, making it a mega fire. Further north in Utah, the Monroe Canyon fire is now more than 58,000 acres. The governor declared a state of emergency after nearly 700 wildfires have ripped through the state this year. The current fire season has crews all across the West enduring brutal conditions with little rest.
The type of fire that is burning right now and what is projected, they probably will be down there for the full 14 days.
Containment on the Gifford fire has actually dropped from 5%
down to 3%. It is burning just on the edge of where the Madre fire was burning last month. Firefighters are hoping that the burn scar from that blaze will at least help this fire from moving in that direction. Jason Allen, CBS News in Santa Maria, California.
Stick around, Mr. Food's up next. We'll be right back. Well, it's time to say so long to that same boring side dish you make every night and try today's Mr. Food recipe. Howard is making garden quinoa toss in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If your side dish lineup this time of year is baked beans, macaroni salad, and corn on the cob, and you just repeat these over and over, I think you'll love what we're whipping up today. It's a fluffy quinoa salad made with a collection of colorful veggies. And the best part, it goes with just about anything. We start by cooking some quinoa according to the package directions and cooling it. Then we add some cherry tomatoes that we cut in half, diced cucumbers, peeled or unpeeled, and some chopped red onion. Now we add a can of chickpeas that we drained really well. And to give this a fresh summery taste, we mix in a homemade vinaigrette that we made with a few off-the-shelf ingredients. After tossing all this together, we finish it off with some crumbled feta. Then we're good to go. You can serve this at room temperature or chilled if you prefer. Either way, this side dish is so fresh tasting and different, everyone will be asking for more. To get the recipe for our garden quinoa toss, simply check out our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a colorful change of pace way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, again, temperatures below normal today, isolated pop-up storm or two now through Wednesday, and then temperatures start climbing. We get back above normal into the upper 90s and even lower triple digits out there by Friday, but our heat index values not oppressively hot. There'll only be a couple of degrees warmer, but still want to make sure you're staying hydrated, taking precautions. A few more isolated storms this weekend into Monday, and by next week, temperatures returning to normal.
All right, and coming up tonight at 5, washing fruits and vegetables is a healthy habit. However, there is some science to keep in mind. But how should we clean produce? We'll take a look. Plus, adults are slowing down on their reading. We talked to an expert in Joplin about the reasons why, and a local leadership class unveils a mural, part of their service project. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.